It's hardly surprising, is it, that J.D. Vance, not doing terribly well in the polls, should find a way to claw back attention on Tucker Carlson's show, of all things, and should do so with misogynistic stupidity. His story about Kamala Harris being a childless Catwoman is the same issue that was directed by Andrea Leadsom, another foolish individual, against Theresa May. And whatever one may think of Theresa May, this was one of the reasons why Theresa May ended up as Prime Minister. These silly, prejudiced attacks have backfired in the past, and J.D. Vance, not doing very well, may have thought this was a cheap jibe that would get a headline. Silly boy. I mean, really, what a silly, stupid boy. And, he's just been announced as the vice president running mate on the ticket with Trump. And he's made these controversial comments describing Vice President Kamala Harris as a bunch of childless cat ladies, describing Democrats, including Kamala Harris, as a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and their choices that they've made, and so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. He specifically criticized Harris, despite her having stepchildren with her husband, Doug Emhoff. These remarks significantly sparked a backlash, and Jennifer Aniston publicly condemned Vance on Instagram, highlighting the insensitivity of his comments, especially given his stance on IVF legislation, which he voted to block. Aniston's critique was personal, as she had publicly shared her own struggles with infertility. Other notable figures, including Meghan McCain, also condemned Vance's remarks, and Buttigieg, who has adopted twins with his husband, emphasized the personal pain such comments can cause. In 2016, however, and this is the parallel, in 2016, during the Conservative leadership race, Andrea Leadsom, who has many other problems, many other failings, which became evident as she became leader of the House and tried to sort of twist the House's logic to overturn House decisions. She suggested in a Times interview that being a mother gave her a greater stake in the future that her rival Theresa May could not understand because she doesn't have children. And Leadsom's exact words were, "I feel that being a mum makes you have a real stake in the future of our country, a tangible stake." She later apologized for her comments because they certainly weren't as aggressive as J.D. Vance's, claiming she was pressed into making a comparison and that it didn't reflect her true beliefs. However, the damage was done, and senior Conservative figures criticised Leadsom, with Ruth Davidson's noting a gulf in class between Leadsom and May, and Anna Soubry stating that Leadsom's comments showed she was not prime ministerial material. Absolutely not. The backlash, she was actually my MP for a while, the backlash contributed to Leadsom withdrawing from the race, paving the way for Theresa May to become Prime Minister. Now, both incidents reflect a troubling trend of using personal circumstances, the ad hominem thing, particularly parenthood, as a measure of political competence. And these remarks are not only misogynistic, but they're insensitive to the personal struggles of many individuals. J.D. Vance's comments are particularly egregious given his opposition to IVF, which further alienates people dealing with infertility. Aniston's response underscores the personal nature of these issues and highlights the broader implications of such insensitive remarks, but I doubt it's going to be the last insensitive remark from the Trump-Vance team. Similarly, Leadsom's comments, though perhaps less direct, insinuated that childless individuals are less invested in the future, a notion that's both false and damaging. The swift backlash that she faced demonstrates the recognition by our society that personal choices or circumstances should not be used as political leverage. And in both cases, the comments were strategic missteps that backfired, or at least in the case of Andrea Leadsom, it was a strategic misstep that backfired. And I think we're seeing a mounting opposition to J.D. Vance, revealing the misogyny that underlies his tactics and the broad disapproval that that will generate. These incidents serve as reminders that personal attacks by senior politicians, particularly attacks based on family status, are not only unethical but also politically unwise. This is the language of stupidity.